Welcome back. Today we're going to be tackling my kitchen faucet with this Moen right here. I'll open it up and show you what I got. Reason for changing it is I need a new one downstairs. This has been on here quite a while. My original plan was to take this one, put it downstairs, and put a new one here. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, we have our top plate with a gasket, which I'm going to need because this sink has the 3 holes. And the model number, which is right here. I'll see if I can find it in Amazon and put a link in the description in the video. Anything I use, I'll put a link in the video. And the tool, which is nice. It's the installed tool, so you don't need to do what I'm got to do here to take the old one off. This just goes up. And then the faucet itself. And this one does have its own lines. Anyway, is this job difficult? It can be extremely difficult. A lot of times it's better, 100% better to get a plumber to do it. If you want to tackle it yourself, some are easy, some are extremely difficult. I probably, on this one here, leaning towards the difficult side. Anyway, I'll bring you underneath and show you what it looks like. Anyway, here's the mess I have under here. So back here is where it hooks up, way up there. But anyway, I installed these ages ago, which are the water shut off. I think this is hot and that's cold. Let me verify that. Yeah. Okay, hot over here, cold over here. So I'm just going to turn these off. And then I'll just open the faucet and release the pressure before I start unscrewing anything. Turn the faucet on, release everything. So I'm going to bring you over here to show you what I'm working with. Like I say, this has been on here for quite a while. So what we're looking at is the horseshoe that holds it onto the sink. And I'll show you what it is. This one's rusted pretty good because it's been up there for a while. I guess it may have leaked. I'm trying to get you a good view, but okay, so there's a horseshoe thing I was talking about that holds it up. And if I move this out of the way, I've got another line that hooks in here. Anyway, that's very close to this piece of wood back there. I need 2 hands to actually show you this. Okay, so the nut is up there. Right there, that wood is too close to where the nut's got to come out. So I got to come in here and chip some of this away. And plus the hold down is in the way. So I'm going to work on this. I'll explain better once I get it out. I got a 5/8. So I'll take the hot side off first and lie down for this. Here's one line out. That was the hot side. And now we'll take the cold side out. Okay, so there's the hot and cold water off. That should be good on water draining. Okay, next, I'm going to see if I can take this hose out. This is a weight to allow the hose to come back. Okay, there's a clamp up there, so I got to move the camera out of the way again. There's a clip here, if I can get the clip out. Get the clamp out somewhat. I don't know if it comes all the way out or not. Nope. Okay. In order to undo the clamp, it was up here. You got to push both of these in at the same time as you pull it back, and then you pull it straight down. It's like that. Push these 2 in, back up, and then straight down. Okay, so we get that out of the way. It's not necessary, but I just want it off of here so I can pull this out of here. Okay, so I'll take the weight out. Okay, so the weight's out. I'm trying to reuse this faucet. Normally you wouldn't bother with it. And then the same thing with this, I'll take this clamp out. Undo it from there. And then what I'm going to try to do, drain the water. I'm trying to get every last bit of hose out of my way so it makes it easier for me to do this. So by taking that off, it allows me, up here?
Wait a minute. Okay.
By taking that off, it allows me to pull this all the way out. I should be able to pull it all the way out. There. So now this is out of my way. And I'll put this aside and that aside. Just get it out of here because I'm going to be using this again in the basement, hopefully. I can show you under here. I don't know if it's hard to get you under here. But if you take a quick look, by moving the hose out of there, it gives me more room to get at that nut, which is right there.
It's candy.
Okay, I come to a conclusion, and the only reason why I came to that conclusion is I got a shelf right here. And this shelf is in my way of taking my wood chisel and chisel that wood out in the back. I can't get right at it. It's just, there's no good spot for it unless I rip this shelf out. I'm not about to do that, so I'm looking around. The easiest thing to do right now is just take the sink out. So I've taken the clamps that hold the sink down off, and I'm going to have to take the drains out. I'll unscrew these. And you can see it's not that tight. Some of the glue in the back, what it is just a plumber's putty for stainless steel. And you see some places it's not sealed anymore, so it's probably a good time to reseal the sink. So we're going to reseal the sink. And I've got my water filter right here, so let me get up there and get that out of the way because I'm going to unhook it.
Oh, just easy. Just
It looks like a very small leak on one of the shutoffs. So I'll just add the drain and leave it there. And I'm going to take it off right here. And we should be good there. Not advisable. When you're doing just a faucet, it's a lot of extra work to take the sink out. I'm doing it because, the only reason I'm doing it is because of this shelf. Okay, so we took off my filter water drain. I basically came off here. I'll have to put some Teflon and screw it back together this way. Looks like when I originally put it, it looks like it was grabbed here with vice grips and this tightened on after it was gone through. This wasn't through, but this wouldn't come off. Anyway, so it came off here. I'll just reseal it, put it back on. Anyway, we're going to try, see if I can get this sink up. I'm going to have the drains hooked up. And my seal is not even, so I'm just going to prop something under these and go down and push the drains down. So there's one rag there. Another one there. Make sure the drains are out. Yeah, I got one drain in. I'll lift that side up a bit. If you want to see what I'm doing, you come over here and take a look. So we've got this drain out. Now it's just this one here.
I need a light.
There, okay, that one's out. Okay, let's get this out of here, and I'll show you what my issue was. Now the issue I was having, and before I put it together, this should have been cut a little further back. So, and I did mark it from the bottom. Before I put it back in, I'm going to take my jigsaw and I'm going to round that out a bit. Okay, let's go take a look and see what we got over here. Okay, this is also 5/8, so we'll see if we can get it out of here. But the way the countertop was coming, it was sitting right on top of this, so it's basically the countertop was here covering this whole thing. Uh-oh.
No, you have to. Can you put something oil or what?
Yeah.
Gee, put that.
Okay, let me get some penetrating oil on there. Oh, even the ring. I might not be able to reuse this.
No, you're gonna buy the new.
No, it's gone. It's all. Even, no, I'm not gonna be able to reuse that. Okay, we're back after. I guess where I left off was taking this off of here, which was rather difficult. I had to use these to kind of hold it without damaging anything. Hammer, and then the what is it? 5/8 wrench. I got it off, and I say this was completely damaged. I can't use it again. I do want to use this faucet down in the basement because the one in the basement's leaking. I can't fix it. So while I was away, I took a piece of metal and I traced this one out on it and I cut this one out. So now I have a way to put this one downstairs. So that's going to be scrap metal, and this would be the new one to hold it in place. Okay, I also had to clean this up. All the plumber's putty that was around the edge, all that's cleaned up. Plus the countertop's also cleaned. And every time I pull a sink, a drain of any sort, I've always replaced these. On this particular one, it's just like a wedge that goes in. Some of them are different. Some of them have a lip with a flat piece. But years ago, I've had them leak. So every time I do it, I turn around and I put a new one on. So basically, these go on. And the wedge, if you can see it there, goes up. So it wedges into the drain in the bottom, and then this nut goes down and screws it in place. So we'll get these on now, and then I'll put the putty on and take this sink downstairs in the kitchen and install it. Okay, that should do it. And like I say, some people use silicone around the sink itself to the countertop. I prefer the plumber's putty. Simple fact is, if you're doing a job like this, it's much easier to take off and clean up than silicone. Silicone, the problem with that is if you get a small leak, a lot of times it ends up rotting your countertop, and it gets all soft and squishy and full of mold. And let's say if you take it, try to reseal it, silicone does not stick to silicone. So the cleanup is just a bear. You got to take all the silicone off the sink, all the silicone off the countertop, and it just doesn't come off easy. A little bit, like say, silicone does not stick to silicone. But plumber's putty will stick to, if you happen to leave a bit of mess behind, plumber's putty will stick to plumber's putty, and you don't normally lose your countertop. But that's a big debate. I'm not going to get into it. Also, the countertop on this is not cut 100%. I'll show you when I go to put it on. I'm going to have to set this down. I'm going to have to hook up the new faucet, which is right here. Put the water, the drinking, the filtered water thing on, and then I'm going to have to tighten the sink down because I may have to move the sink around because the hole's not perfectly lined up. I didn't cut it. It was like that when I got it. Okay, so we'll start with the plumber's putty. And plumber's putty makes it easier to do that. Silicone would be hard, especially if you get the fast drying one. You wouldn't have time to get everything on before it starts setting up and making a big mess. Okay, so I'm gonna just roll this up like this. And I'm gonna get it down on the lip, not that thick, but to give you an idea what I'm doing. I'll make it one piece on for you. Okay, I use one of these and a bit more. I'll put a link to that in the description also. Okay, so let's get this down in the kitchen and get it on there. I'm gonna put a bit more around the hole for the filtered water. But we'll bring that down the kitchen now. You can see the bead I put on there. It's kind of overkill, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. Okay, I'm just going to add a bead just around where this comes through. Maybe too thick, just in case I get a leak. When I put that on top of the sink, it doesn't get into the wood. The first one I bought was nice, but this one here is just on a tad dry side. But it should be good enough just for this. And the little bit I did use. Okay, as you can see up here, I don't know if you can see right there, I took my Dremel and this was a little too close and I kind of just grooved that in. It should have been probably cut more, but that's why I'm going to set the countertop down, put the back drain on, or put the back faucet on, and then tighten it down. Plus it's got a line up here, it's got a line up there, and the whole thing is, once it's in, it's got to be kind of pushed a bit. So it was never lined up perfectly to start with. Hang on. I'm gonna grab this without taking out the putty. Okay, as you're doing that, try to get lined up. I'm going to tighten everything down after. Look at the parts. Get this part here, that's a gasket seal. And if you look the way it's made, it's got little, I call it something else, but I'll call them nubs on YouTube. I go into these little holes. And then there's a gasket on the outside, so you just push it into the little holes. And that will sit on top. I'll shove this ring. I don't know if the ring goes there or if the ring's just supposed to go when it's not used, but I'm going to put it there anyway. And we'll feed it in. I'll get my camera lady to come on this side, leave the camera there and hold it. And I'll take a holder and the plastic nut and the tool that it comes with and put it on. I'll tighten it up and I'll bring you under and show you where it is. The shelf inside here, it does make it a little harder than where it normally would be. So the tool kind of fits up here and then you tighten it down that way and make sure that the lines go inside where it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm going to tighten it down a bit more and then I'm going to move the sink in place and get that other faucet in here. Okay, I forgot to mention, I just assumed, you should never assume anything. That's supposed to be like 90 degrees facing out here, right? It's actually, when she held it this way. I thought she knew. She didn't, so I got to loosen it off and we're going to make that 90 degrees and make sure this is all the way forward. So I'll go back underneath, loosen it up, come back up and make sure it's in place. Never hurts to do the job twice. Okay, we'll bring you in for a quick view and I'm going to show you the way this sink is made. It's got a lip in the back right here. And the way this goes, it's hitting that lip so it's not sitting quite flush. And I guess on the other sink, I'm not saying it's a faucet problem. I'm more gain to, or I'm guessing it's a sink problem because the other faucet, the clamp was all rusted, and I'm thinking it was all rusted because it also sat at a slight angle. So what I did on this one is I filled under there with plumber's putty, and then I smashed it down or tightened it down. I didn't go get on camera. It took two of us to actually hold it and get everything in there, get the putty in there, and get it squashed in. So now it should be sealed. Anyway, like I said, it's not a faucet problem. It's a sink problem. It's years old, and they never made faucets like this. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to get on to adding right now this. There is a some type of O-ring or what have you on this, but hold it like that so it stays exactly in line with that. You can stand, yeah, I guess there. Well, you get more leverage out here. And I'll go underneath 5/8 and I'll tighten it up. Okay, that should be good. And while I got this here,
Take that one out, or you just...
well, you know how it sprays in your face?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take this out of here. Yeah, they had this plastic piece that went between here and there, but when you open it up, it's all it did is spray it everywhere, up in your face. And so I'm going to try it without it, see if that helps. Don't know if it will or not. Okay, now I got to secure the sink, which should have been done first, but because this hole's not cut right, I'm kind of doing it after. These things just go in, you put a wrench or screwdriver on this and tighten it up. Yeah, I took it off with this, but to tighten it back up, I don't like these type of screwdrivers, the flats. To me, I don't even know why they still make them. So I'm just going to get a socket and a 1/4 inch drive and put them up that way to be much easier with an extension. So I'll be right back. Okay. Just a ratchet and a socket. I'm just going to just tighten this up just a little bit so it doesn't fall off while I get the next one set up. That should ooze out. Okay, so I'm going to let this putty set. It's going to ooze out some more, and then I'll go around one more time. While I'm letting that happen, I'm not going to clean it up yet. I'm just going to put the faucet in, the hose in, and I'm going to hook up the water. Here's the faucet. That would go there, but it's got to come off. This fits on here. This shouldn't need Teflon because it looks like the big rubber in there, big rubber gasket. Okay, just snug this up. Doesn't have to be tight, it's all plastic. Okay. This is a big weight that goes on the cable. I'm going to have a bit of a hard time with my hookup because I got that second shelf there. I may have to cut a section of that shelf out to let this weight hang to hold this up. So there's not a place. I thought it might have just went up and hooked in, but no. It's this heavy weight that goes over the line. And it gets opened up like this. Okay. So, okay, and this also goes under there. I'll bring you under and I'll show you how that goes. Well, before we plug that in, we're going to put this piece they got. This stops just fraying. And it screws up here. I don't know if you can see it where you are or not. It's screwed on the main thing, so when it's sliding up and down, it's not on steel, it's on plastic. Now we'll hook this up, and if it doesn't work here, I'll disconnect it and have to cut a hole and let it drain down here. The other one worked. Just come off? Yep, okay. Take this off. That protects the O-ring. And push the button in that's here. I don't know if you can't see that. There's a big flat button. You push the button in. And that locks it in. And take it out. Push it in. Now, this weight to hold it down, it's going to have to go, depends how far I want to drag that. It's got a yellow thing. I'm guessing this yellow thing is where it should go. I could be wrong. But we're going to put it there.
Still like...
No, no good. It's got to go a little higher than that yellow thing because it's sitting there. It's got to sit. So we go a little higher.
Yeah. It's okay. Oh, that's why. I just wondering. That's why I have that one, the nuts.
So, yeah, it should work there. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Okay, let's get the water hooked up. Hey, it's 5/8. Yeah, one more line to go, which is this one. I'm gonna have to get some Teflon on it. It should be good. Okay, we'll get the drains done up. Now we'll try the hot. That should be off. Try the cold. On. Okay, cold is down here. Hot is up here. Mix is right here. Okay, that's much better than that plastic thing in there. Hey, that plastic thing would spray the entire kitchen. Hey, one last check for leaks. I've got nothing. Everything's good here. We go up top. All the water's turned on. Let's turn this off. That's working good with that plastic piece out. It doesn't splash all over the place anymore. That's got good water pressure. You can have it this way or hide it. Or you can have added pressure by pushing this one. You're pushing out way too much. Okay, everything's working. No leaks. Anyway, I'll clean everything up. Remove the putty, cut it away. To cut the putty, I just use a scraper, or yeah, it's basically a razor scraper. Run along the edge, clean it up, and then wipe it all down. Anyway, make it look pretty. Anyway, if you like the video, appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe, and thanks for watching my channel. Bye for now.